I cannot even accurately describe to y'all the wave of emotion that hits your boy when Tenchu 3's opening theme Sadame comes on. I literally remember being a young buck chilling in my mom's crib, letting the controller sit idle just to hear that song and watch the opening cutscene on repeat. Dog, everything about it, from the beautiful vocals, I did for you. The bumping beat, the quality FMV, when I hear it or see it, all I can think about is being in my room grinding missions on Master Ninja and playing the co-op and versus mode with my friends and cousins on weekends, trying to learn all the special moves and learning to beat the maps without getting touched. More than any other Tenchu, this game holds a special place for me, and I'm excited to be able to run through it with y'all. The game begins with the homie Rikimaru standing next to this random ass portal on some Back to the Future type energy. It really opens the game up with a question mark. It makes you wonder just what the hell Big Rick has been up to since we thought he got smoked at the end of the first game.
My death was greatly exaggerated.
Y'all already know at this point though that Buddy's a man of few words. He looks around the landscape for 0.2 seconds and is like, alright cuz, time to get to work. Hopping off the waterfall, hitting the godlike Nimpo incantation that continues to have your boy in a chokehold to this day, before turning into some doves and we're off to the races. The game begins with a big time callback to the first, where we're tasked with bringing justice to Echigoya, who's gotten on his Epstein time and allowing his riches to get him involved with a trafficking ring where young ladies in the village are coming up missing for nefarious purposes. The first cutscene sees this freaky frog being told he has to keep his eyes closed. It's not being able to peep the so-called goods will make them all the better, as this poor village girl is screaming her heart out, and we take control of Rikimaru to bring the wrath of heaven. We infiltrate the inside of his compound where we come to blows with the hired help, homie with a blade and a blick similar to the first boss we came across in Tenchu 1, matter of fact, who then hits us with the legendary line, bringing back all those memories when he says, "You chose the wrong party to crash." The fight takes place in this little ass room, but soon big fella realizes he chose smoke with the wrong shadow. His death animation kills me, no pun intended. Instead of hitting us with the community theater blah like his ancestor before him, this man starts crying on his tummy like an earthworm, talking about I'm dying, oh I'm dying, before becoming fertilizer. I swear man, these big wigs be putting the biggest hams in the world on their payroll. Where are they finding these fellas? Homie doesn't even get a death cutscene as we continue making our way through the castle to do his master dirty. Big Rick finally comes upon the room where the scum of the earth is waiting for the company of another village girl. Homie starts feeling us up, talking about, damn, you got some sturdy ass shoulders. What they putting in the village water now? Before opening his eyes and getting the worst jump scare of his life. Big Rick reads him his last rites, reminding him of the crimes that have led the ghost of Christmas past to his doorstep before drawing his blade. The fiend calls upon his hired help, but the heaven's retribution is inescapable. Before Ricky finishes the job, one of the remaining monsters pleads for his life, telling Ricky that the operation is coming from the inside. There's a trader inside Goda Castle assisting the network named Hamada, nerdy ass fellow with some glasses. Before Ricky can learn more, the blubbering villain gets backstabbed poetically enough, and we gaze upon the moonlit sky to see the culprit. Appears to be none other than everyone's favorite villain, Sting, aka Onikage, who appears to be back from the dead and has Rikimaru just as surprised as we are. The grind never stops though, as we listen to announcer homie speak on our next mission. Infiltrate Goda's castle and take out the rat from the inside while sparing our master's guards, because nobody actually knows that we didn't get murked after our escapades in 1. Then we begin executing on the sneaky link and eventually find Hamada. We blow Buddy's back out exactly like he deserves, but before we can return to Goda, the castle is being infiltrated by enemy ninja and we have to take them out. After proving our ninja supremacy, we eventually meet our master's quarters, who damn near assassinates himself after learning that we're still alive. That's when Big Rick gives up the quick lore dump, telling us that using his ninja big boy sleep no jutsu, he survived the mess at Mayo's castle and used his shadow to scout and return to his lord. Right behind us, always at the ready, Ayame states that it's real convenient Big Rick emerges from the grave just as Goda happens to get attacked. And how do they know this isn't just a shadow they're talking to right now? Ayame's so skeptical, y'all, she calling cap on Rikimaru's whole technique. She's like, I went to ninja school every day and don't remember Ozma teaching us shadow clone jutsu at a single one of them damn classes. I'm about to peel your wig back right here and now. Big Rick pulls out one of his patented one-liners though. Actually, Ayame, I'm Rikimaru. I am a shadow. Bro's mouthpiece game clearly didn't suffer during that big sleep, and just like that, you return to the service of Goda. Bro, Goda struck gold when he found Rikimaru and Ayame. You'd be hard-pressed to find a realer one on any squad, real or fake. Man has one leg out the grave, and all he has on his mind is thinking about how to slide on Goda's ops. With the timing of everything, we come to the conclusion that the attack on the castle wasn't about Goda. Rather, someone must have learned of Riki's return and sought to dead that immediately. Our new objective is to investigate the rumors of a limestone cavern where riders from Mayo seem to be gathering to take possession of his cursed sword to finally bring this man's party to an end. We navigate our way through the limestone caverns, putting down all enemy ninja in our path until we reach a chamber with a hilariously conspicuous floating sword, leading Rikimaru to the conclusion that, yep, this must be the blade. Before we can work on properly sealing the evil away, we get stopped by our persistent ex-girlfriend Onikage, who informs us he's been stalking us because he knew we would bring him directly to the blade. Riki has so many questions at this point, but asks the most obvious first, reminding Onikage that shouldn't he be dead right now? This fella Kage is so unserious, he's literally like, oh yeah, I came back. Like it's something that people just do. Eventually the dude elaborates, telling us there's a new bad named Tenrai who brought him back to life in an effort to gather the cursed sword so ultimately Lord Mayonnaise could be resurrected. That's all we needed to hear. We knuckle up against Onikage and it appears we won. Until the perspective shifts, Onikage's at our back and he slits her damn throat. This part had me like, yo, what the hell? But it gets stranger. Kage looks unsatisfied and he says, yeah, looks like the reports are true. Come out, Rikimaru! Then from the sky, the legendary sword of the Azuma Ninja, now under the possession of Big Rick, lands in a puddle and begins resonating with energy. Out of nowhere, Rikimaru emerges, grabs his blade like I'll be taking that, and the only thing he says is I'm back, ho, square up Onikage, and you get into yet another brawl with this man. This time you put him in a pack, but he brings his whole ass minions and gets away, so it looks like y'all have to settle this score on a different day. After all this, narrator Sama finally hits us with the lore. The Riki we've been playing the last few missions was a straight up phony, a shadow body double set to take the place of the Azuma Ninja once they were thought lost. In the last battle against Lord Mayonnaise, he escaped into a portal where he was critically injured. Apparently, Riki jumped into the same portal and has only now emerged to return back to his master's side. Bro, these Azuma Ninja are a different breed. You mean to tell me that even in death, their shadows return to Goda's side? I don't know what kind of clandestine Freemason shenanigans Goda got up to breed an army like this, but remind me to never mess with Buddy. Y'all will never guess this, but it seems like once again, Princess Kiku's been kidnapped and all the ruckus, and guess whose job it is to bring her home? Bruh, at this point, she in the running with Peach for the most stolen women of all time. Absolutely outrageous work. Now, the Ronin village we make our way through to get to Amagi Castle where Kiku is being held is fairly normal. But once we get to the castle, bruh, all bets are off. What the hell is up with this place? Y'all remember in the previous episode where I talked about Tenchu being a low-key horror game? This is exactly what I meant. The moment I would have saw that sentient wood skeleton scouring this place with those saw-tier needle traps, Kiku would have just had to expire. I'm not gonna lie to you. The worst offender though are these little wood dudes with the scary-ass pale faces holding the katana like Chucky knives. Bro, I still want to throw up when I see these dudes. Enemy had me in a chokehold as a kid, straight up nightmare fuel. The boss at the end of this hellish ass level is Dr. Kimura, a mad scientist on some straight horror movie timing, using the Squid Games doll as a weapon, working to try to put you on a milk carton. Best part was when Riki rolls up on him, the only thing he can think to say is, what the hell? Same Riki, straight up cursed. After we beat the villain of the week's ass, we grab Kiku and find Ayame has arrived as well. We leave the little lady in her hands as we tell her we got a date with the blacksmith after our sword had got damaged. Now things begin to get even more supernatural, as we decide in order to properly repair the blade, we need to make a choice between using cursed alloy to reinforce it or using what Resai, the one tending to our blade, has on hand. Choosing the option to not use any cursed metal to intertwine with Izayoi, Resai sends us into the cemetery with the Muramasa, asking us to cut our way through the spirits and demons to get him the materials he needs in exchange for the work. Whole ass thing is stressful as hell, y'all. The Muramasa is a cursed ass sword that literally slowly kills the user unless it is fed blood, in which case it exchanges some of that into your own life force. So the whole level is just race through the cemetery where you're working to maintain your life, avoid detection when possible, while also getting busy when you need to so you don't end up one hit KO'd by a random graveyard demon because your weapon decided it's your biggest op and wants to see you fail more than these rappers' teachers do on the intros to their albums. Whoever thought this level up is a sick man, bro. If you couldn't tell FromSoftware had a hand in this game before, you 1000% can now. Honestly, now that I look at it, you can really feel their footprints all over this game. Everything from the brutally dark atmosphere, the difficulty, cursed ass enemy designs, everything about this game has FromSoft all over it. These fellas been sickos with the difficulty long before the Soul series. Tenchu 3 is just one example. Unlike me though, Riki ain't afraid of no ghosts and works his way through the cemetery, eventually coming upon a projection of Tenrai, the magician seeking to resurrect Mayo, who asks him to go Benedict Arnold and join his cause. We all know what type of time Big Rick is on, and he ignores that garbage, but is caught off guard after a brief encounter with a shadow from the past. Was that man he saw really Tatsumaru, or was it just another trick? He had little time to wonder, as he was contacted by sources who informed him his homie Ayame was behind bars after getting accused of being traitor to Goda. Ayame insists that it was a fake impersonating her and that they fled to the woods, but she would rather die off the back of a lie than have another ninja break her out and save her. That's not how the Azuma get down. So now Ricky has to take his black ass over to the bamboo forest to investigate the rumors of this fake before Ayame gets to act in more ways than one. Now Ricky has to once again work his way through this area with more cursed energy than an enemy with a Sukuna finger and JJK until eventually he comes upon Ayame, weirdly enough, who was supposed to be locked up. Ayame looks upon Ricky with relief and is like, man, so good to see a friend after all this craziness. And a moment later, Ricky attacks. He's like, I don't think so, big fella. You messed up the moment you said friend. Azuma Ninja don't mess with that word. So you get a brawl in with the fake Ayame, take him out, and turns out you've been getting catfish this whole time, and there's a whole man under there who tells you fell for the bait before biting his tongue off, which Ricky promptly responds with an emphatic ugh. Sekia gives Goda the news that Goda's temple is under attack by Tenrai's forces. The dastardly villain's plans were while Ayame was locked up and you were busy getting catfished in the woods, he would attack Goda while he was unprotected and vulnerable. Now you gotta make haste to the temple and take out the enemy leaders before Goda gets his toast buttered. We work our way through the level, and at the end we find the dynamic duo of George and Lenny waiting at the end when Miss Kagura, she calls herself, says it's a damn shame for a fine specimen like Rikimaru to get flatlined in a place like this. We work overtime to take out both the big fella and her, which is no joke to keep it a whole buck, and right as we think we get the chance to breathe, guess what shadow from days long past makes themselves known? You called it, people. None other than our old sword brother Tatsumaru has emerged. Apparently resurrected by Tenrai, who was all too happy to give us this family reunion. A bit unrelated, but between this fight and playing the homie Tatsumaru in multiplayer, I'm gonna be hearing the phrase, how about this, in my nightmares for years to come. No words are exchanged between the former allies to the very end, where Rikimaru, after a hard-fought gauntlet of battles, is on his knees exhausted as the defeated Tatsu tells him there's a secret he's never been told about. No, he's not hiding a daughter, rather the secret of Dojutsu, aka the ninja eye. Yo, my man got Sharingan? Alright, Tatsumaru tells Ricky that Master Azuma left this technique dormant within Rikimaru, sealing it away because at the time, he wasn't ready. But now is the time for him to unleash it, as it's the only power capable of taking out Tenrai and ensuring Mayo doesn't return. Tenrai, having quite enough of the anti-villain plot devices, quite literally snuffs out the candle on Tatsumaru's life, leaving Ricky to deal with the loss of his sword brother not once, but twice. Tenrai then taunts Ricky, telling him if he's really about that action, come to the castle and settle things once and for all. He'll be waiting for him. Rikimaru is the last fellow to threaten with a good time, so he heads to the castle, and as we overcome an absolute mountain of goons and traverse the labyrinth, good old Onikage is there to greet us, asking if we're tired. Damn right I'm tired of having to beat your ass multiple times every game, little fella. Got me out here like that SpongeBob clip. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? But it's inevitable. We put our dukes up and put our size 12 sandals through this man's chest yet again. This time though, the dude thanks Mayo for allowing him to be his #1 glazer for this many years before jumping over a ravine and somehow just exploding in the middle of the air. Kami knows Rikimaru has had it up to here with that fella. Rest in piss, Onikage. And now we head towards endgame, making our way through the army of red demons, monks, and cult members to settle the score with Tenrai. We make our way to the throne room to find Tenrai still talking about some join me, brother. We smack dude upside the head real quick, but for some reason he just won't stay down. Turns out Tenrai is on something different and uses his clandestine powers to supercharge himself with Lord Mayonnaise's juices and comes at us again full throttle. We almost bite it, but remember what Tatsu tells us, and as the game's godlike theme music comes through, we utilize the power of our right eye and give Tenrai a thwomping for the ages courtesy of the heavens. Though we put up a major fight, it appears that the powered up Lord Mayo's influence may just be too much. That's when we do the unthinkable, stabbing ourselves through the midsection with the sword in order to deal Tenrai a fatal blow. Afterwards, even he's like, bro, what the hell's wrong with you? Shortly after this, Goda and Sekia pull up just in time to see Tenrai get cut down the middle on some shonen anime timing. Ayame sees the injured Rikimaru and attempts to help, but he shoos her off, telling her it's just a flesh wound and to let him cook. All Goda can say is that he's glad they're on his side and the credits roll for the big finish. But that's not all, because right as it looks like the sun is about to set, the candles in the ritual room relight and we find Onikage yet again alive and well, having a short conversation with Lord Mayo that his day in the sun will soon come again. Bro, at this point, Onikage is up there with Kenny from South Park and Wile E. Coyote on the unkillable entities list. Unreal.
My death was
Also
greatly exaggerated.
And before I do my send-off, I would be remiss if I didn't comment quick on the unlockable through the portal mission. This scenario gives us control of Rikimaru as he makes his way through Mayo's portal. Apparently, Buddy somehow ended up in the modern day somewhere on O-Block as to make his way through this cursed-ass fake umbrella corporation before taking out the future owner of the cursed Shishisto blade. Bruh, seeing Rikimaru walk around a normal ass street taking out these Paul Blart clones making $7.50 an hour, talking about donuts every time they get wiped is truly a sight to behold. And then you got the final fight with possessed Jeff Bezos for the sanctity of all the poor people getting screwed over by this company. It's pure cinema. Do yourself a favor, homies. If you haven't played this game, go ahead and boot it up. The Tenchu series is just so unique with its charm, solid stealth mechanics, and atmospheric aesthetic. It continues to make itself worthy of play all these years later. Thank you so much, homies, for coming on this journey with me. Let me know what other games you want to see me tackle in the comments, and I'll catch y'all again in the next one.